burning alien battlefield on a distant moon. Captain Elias Ward, a young but skilled human soldier, becomes separated from his unit. While searching for survivors, he finds a strange energy cage holding an alien woman with silver skin and glowing blue eyes. She is badly wounded but proud and defiant. She looks at Elias and says in a calm but cold voice, "You captured me, so finish me." Elias realizes she thinks he is the one who trapped her. He refuses. This shocks her. No human has ever spared her kind. She warns him that she is Princess Lyra of the Vortex Dominion, the same empire at war with humanity. She tells him that saving her will bring him nothing but death. Elias still chooses to help her escape the cage, even though the cage is protected with unknown alien tech. Strange drones begin to scan the battlefield searching for the missing princess. Elias hides her inside a ruined ship while enemy forces land nearby. Lyra cannot understand why he is helping her. As she grows weaker, her natural powers begin to create unstable energy around them. Elias struggles to keep her calm and conscious. They hear a transmission. Recover the princess, kill the human on sight. Elias now knows he is trapped with her. She tells him again, "You should have ended me, now you will fall with me." Welcome to my channel Starlight Sci-Fi Stories. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. The sky burned bright orange as human dropships fell through the clouds like silver knives. Smoke rose from the dark fields of the moon called Erethys, a battlefield where humans and the alien Vortex Dominion had fought for 3 long days. Broken machines lay everywhere, and the air smelled of metal, dust and fire. Captain Elias Ward moved carefully through the ruins, keeping his rifle close and his helmet visor open just enough to breathe fresh air. His armor was scratched, his left shoulder hurt, and he was running low on power cells. Most of his unit had retreated hours ago, but a jammed transmission had made him think someone might still be alive out here. So he stayed behind, searching. Above him, the sky shook again as a vortex cruiser flew past, its engines glowing blue. Elias ducked under a fallen beam and waited for the noise to fade. He listened, nothing but wind. Then he heard it. A faint humming sound, low and strange, not metal, not human tech. Something alive. Elias raised his rifle and followed the sound to a collapsed ridge. The ground was cracked open, revealing a hidden chamber beneath it. Sparks flickered in the dark. He slid down carefully, boots skidding on loose rock. The humming grew louder. At the bottom of the chamber, glowing dimly in the shadows, stood an energy cage unlike any human design, tall, smooth, emitting soft violet light. Inside it was a figure. A woman. Her skin shimmered like polished silver. Her hair flowed like white fire, floating slightly as if touched by unseen wind. She wore torn armor of dark blue with bright lines that pulsed weakly. Her eyes, bright blue and sharp as crystal shards, turned slowly toward Elias. He froze. He had seen images of her before in mission briefings. Every soldier had. Princess Lyra of the Vortex Dominion. Daughter of the Empress. The starborn heir. The enemy humanity feared most. And she was staring directly at him. For a long moment neither of them spoke. Elias kept his rifle steady, but inside he felt something strange. Fear, yes, but also confusion. Why was she here? Why was she trapped? Who had done this? Lyra's voice broke the silence. Soft, calm, but cold as space. "You've captured me," she said. Her eyes did not blink. Her expression did not change. "So finish me." Elias blinked hard. "What?" he said, lowering his rifle just a little. "I didn't trap you." Her gaze sharpened. "Do not lie, human. Only your kind uses cages like this." He looked around. The cage didn't look human at all. The metal was too smooth, or maybe not metal, something in between. The light curved in ways his eyes almost couldn't follow. Even the sound, the low hum, felt like it was echoing inside his bones. Elias shook his head. "I've never seen technology like this." Princess Lyra tilted her head slightly, watching him with a strange focus, as if studying a dangerous animal. "If you think letting me live will help you," she said, "it won't. My empire will never allow it." He walked closer, his boots crunching on broken stone. "You're hurt," he said. "Good," she replied without emotion. "A warrior should bleed." He stepped right up to the cage. She watched him carefully, her body tense but her eyes steady. Elias reached his hand out, and the cage sparked, pushing his fingers back with a sharp sting. Lyra raised one eyebrow, amused. You see, it knows your intention. I wasn't trying to hurt you, Elias snapped. I was checking if I could open it. The princess studied him again, her eyes narrowing just slightly. Why, she asked. Because I don't kill prisoners, Elias said. Her expression didn't change, but a spark of disbelief flickered in her eyes. No human spares a Dominion heir, she said. You gain nothing by mercy. Maybe I'm not trying to gain anything. You are strange, she said softly, almost whispering it to herself. A strange human with a strange mind. Another deep boom shook the ground and dust rained from above. Elias stepped back, scanning the area. He saw shadows moving across the cracks in the ceiling, small flying things. Drones. Not human. Vortex drones. They were searching. Princess Lyra looked up at the same time he did, her jaw tightened. They are hunting me, she said. If they find me with you, they will kill you, quickly at least. Elias took a deep breath. Then I better get you out of here. Lyra stared at him like he had just spoken nonsense. You would risk your life for me, she asked. Why, you don't know me. You're wounded, he said. You're trapped, and you're not my enemy right now. Something shifted in her eyes. For a moment, just one moment, her cold mask cracked, but then she straightened again, chin high. You cannot open the cage. The more force you use, the stronger it grows. It is designed to hold Vortex royalty. We'll see about that. He circled the cage, checking the base, scanning for power sources. His armor's scanner detected nothing. No switches, no panels, no energy cells. It was as if the cage wasn't even a machine. Who trapped you? He asked. Lyra didn't answer immediately. Her gaze drifted to the shadows. It does not matter. It matters to me. I doubt it, she said. Humans and the Dominion have killed each other for generations. You would not understand. Try me. Lyra looked at him fully then, her blue eyes glowing brighter. My own people, she said, or at least those who want my throne. Elias' stomach tightened. Her own empire had betrayed her. That explained the strange cage. That explained why she hadn't been transporting, why she wasn't guarded by soldiers. Someone high-ranking wanted her dead. I'm sorry, he said without thinking. She tilted her head slightly again, puzzled. Why speak sorrow? You did nothing. Doesn't mean I can't feel it. Another tremor shook the chamber. Elias looked up just in time to see a larger drone hover over the crack in the ceiling. Its red eye scanned the room. Lyra's face went pale. They have found me. Elias dashed behind the cage, taking cover. The drone beeped sharply and flew away. They'll send soldiers next, she said. You should run. I'm not leaving you. You must. I won't. She stared at him, expression tightening in frustration, and something else, something softer. You should have ended me when you had the chance, she said quietly. Now you will fall with me. He ignored her and grabbed a broken metal beam from the rubble. He slammed it against the cage. Sparks flew, and a shockwave pushed him back, knocking him to the ground. Lyra closed her eyes. I told you, she said, force will not break it. Elias stood again, rubbing his ribs. He refused to give up. Your people installed a failsafe, he said. There must be a weak point. She gave a dry, bitter laugh. You believe our technology has weak points. Humans are amusing. He stepped back thinking, then he realized something. Does the cage respond to your energy? Her eyes snapped open. Do not finish that thought, she said sternly. If it reacts to your power, he continued, maybe you can disrupt it. She shook her head. I am too weak, and if I use my energy, the drones will sense it. They will be here in seconds. Then we'll move fast. No, she said firmly. If I do this, I will lose control. The surge will harm you. I'll take my chances. Her voice softened, almost a whisper. Why, she asked again, why do you risk yourself for me? Elias looked at her through the flickering light of the cage. Because no one deserves to die alone in a hole, not even my enemy. Her silver skin shimmered. She lowered her head and for the first time she looked unsure. "Very well," she said quietly. "Step back." Elias moved several steps away. Lyra closed her eyes and drew a deep breath. The air grew colder. Her skin glowed faintly, then brighter, then blinding. The cage responded immediately. Its violet light pulsed in rhythm with her heartbeat. Elias shielded his eyes. "Is this normal?" he shouted. "No," she said, "this is very dangerous." Energy crackled like lightning around her hands. The cage began to shake, its humming rising to a scream. Then, a blast of blue light exploded outward. The cage shattered into 1,000 pieces of glowing dust. Elias ran forward and caught Lyra as she fell, her body limp in his arms. Her breathing was shallow, her eyes half closed. "You fool," she whispered weakly. "I told you this would weaken me." "I'll get you somewhere safe," he said, lifting her gently. The ground shook as a ship landed above them. Heavy footsteps marched across the ridge. "Vortex soldiers." Lyra forced her eyes open. "Leave me," she said. "You cannot protect me from them." "You're wrong," Elias said. "I can try." He carried her through a narrow tunnel leading out of the chamber, just as the first soldiers dropped in behind them. Energy blasts lit the darkness. Elias ducked behind a broken wall in a ruined ship outside the chamber. He set Lyra down carefully. She tried to sit up but fell back, too weak. Her eyes were full of something he hadn't seen before. "Fear. They will kill you," she said. "They will take me. You should not have helped me. You should have listened." He looked at her and smiled, even through his fear. "I've never been good at listening." Lyra stared at him, her expression softening despite herself. Outside, a commander shouted orders. "Recover the princess, kill the human." Lyra closed her eyes in pain. "Elias," she whispered, "there is something you do not know, something about you, about humans." "What?" he asked. She opened her eyes again, and for the first time she looked afraid of him. "My empire fears your kind for a reason," she said. "There is something inside you, something old, something our ancestors warned about." "What are you talking about?" Elias asked. Lyra took a shaky breath. "I can sense it," she whispered. "In your mind, your energy, you are not an ordinary human." Before Elias could ask more, the wall beside them exploded in a burst of purple fire. Vortex soldiers stormed in. Elias shielded Lyra with his body. She grabbed his arm hard, her voice trembling. "There is something awakening inside you, Elias, something I was never told." Another explosion shook the ground. The soldiers stepped closer. Lyra whispered one last thing. "Do not let them take me." Then the world went white with light. Elias felt ringing in his ears, and his armor vibrated with the impact of the explosion. Dust floated in the air like grey snow. He pushed himself up, coughing, vision blurred. The ruined ship's wall had been blown open, leaving a hole large enough for 10 soldiers to enter. And those soldiers were already moving toward him. Their armor glowed with purple light, their helmets shaped like sharp bird skulls, the elite of the Vortex Dominion. They marched forward, rifles humming, ready to fire. Elias staggered to his feet and looked back at Princess Lyra. She lay on the ground, breathing weakly, her silver skin dim and pale. Her earlier words echoed in his mind. "There is something awakening inside you." He didn't understand what she meant. He didn't believe there was anything special in him. He was just a soldier, a normal human. But the way the air trembled around him now. The way his heartbeat pulsed like a drum in his ears. Something felt different. A Vortex soldier raised a weapon and pointed it straight at him. Lyra tried to lift her hand but collapsed again. "Elias, run, please." He refused to move. The soldier fired. Elias threw up his arm instinctively, and something impossible happened. A bright blue flash sparked around his forearm, forming a shield of pure energy for a split second. The blast hit it and scattered like water striking a rock. Both Elias and the soldiers froze. "What was that?" Elias whispered. Lyra stared wide-eyed, horror and shock mixing on her face. "No," she whispered, "it can't be, not that quickly." The soldiers hesitated only a moment before advancing again, now cautious, weapons pointed at Elias instead of the princess. Elias grabbed Lyra and lifted her into his arms. "We have to move," he said. She shook her head, weak. "You shouldn't be able to create energy like that. Humans don't do that." "Well," Elias said breathlessly as laser fire blasted around them, "today's been strange for both of us." He sprinted toward the far exit of the ruins as the soldiers fired. The ground exploded behind him. Debris flew through the air. Elias shielded Lyra as he ran, pushing through smoke and rubble. But the soldiers were fast, too fast. One of them landed in front of him, blocking the path. Another dropped behind him. Elias spun, trapped between them. Lyra struggled weakly. "Put me down, save yourself." "Not happening," he said. The soldiers stepped closer. Elias held his ground. A strange blue glow began to form around his hands. He didn't know what he was doing. He didn't know how he was doing it. It simply happened, like breathing or fear. Just before the soldiers fired again, Lyra suddenly shouted, "Stop!" Both soldiers halted in confusion. Not because of her voice, but because of the power behind it. A shockwave of silver-blue energy erupted from Lyra's body, not violent, not harmful, but powerful enough to stun everyone. The soldiers staggered back. The ground trembled. Elias looked down at her. Her eyes were glowing again, but faintly. She whispered, "Run." He ran. The escape underground. The ruins led into a narrow tunnel system beneath the moon's surface. The walls were smooth, almost glassy, not naturally formed. Someone or something had carved these tunnels long ago. Elias carried Lyra deeper, the sounds of soldiers echoing behind them. "Where does this lead?" Elias asked. Lyra forced her eyes open. "To an ancient place, a hidden chamber. My people do not enter it." "Why not?" "Because it does not belong to us," she whispered. "It belongs to the ones who came before." Elias felt the air grow colder as they descended. Strange blue symbols glowed faintly on the walls, symbols he didn't recognize but somehow understood. They felt familiar, like a memory he had never lived. The path opened into a massive cavern filled with glowing crystals and ancient machines shaped like giant rings. Some floated in the air, untouched by gravity. Lyra raised a trembling hand. "This is the Vault of Arcos," she said. "Forbidden to my people, yet it welcomes you." "Why me?" Elias breathed. She looked at him with fear again. "Because humans were not supposed to return." Before he could question her, the cavern lit up. A ripple of white-blue light pulsed across the machines. One of the giant rings rotated slowly and projected a holographic figure in the center of the room, a glowing humanoid shape made of shifting light. Elias stepped back. Lyra gasped. "It's an ancient guardian," she said weakly. "A caretaker of this vault. It has not awakened for thousands of years." The holographic figure turned its head toward Elias. A calm, deep voice filled the chamber. "Designated protector identified." Elias flinched. "Me, protector of what?" The guardian's voice replied. "Protector of the starborn heir." Lyra stared in shock. "The guardian knows me, but why choose you?" Elias shook his head. "I have no idea." The guardian continued. "Human template recognized, neural imprint from ancient records, authorization level Alpha." Lyra's jaw dropped. "That is impossible. Humans were never part of the ancient empire." The guardian floated forward and extended a beam of light toward Elias. Before he could react, the light touched his chest. He gasped as warmth flowed through him, into his mind, his bones, his heartbeat. His vision flashed with images he didn't understand. Old worlds, stars dying, humans walking among strange beings long ago. Then it ended. Elias staggered back. Lyra crawled closer, eyes wide. What did it do to you?" I don't know," he said, breathing hard, "but I feel stronger." The guardian spoke again. "Host integration complete, power reserves limited, awaiting command." Lyra whispered, "You fused with a guardian that has never happened. Humans were always too unstable for ancient energy." "I guess I'm full of surprises today," Elias said. But there was no time to rest. Soldiers burst into the cavern entrance. The battle in the vault. The Vortex soldiers fired without warning. Elias felt something instinctive rise inside him, the same strange energy that had protected him earlier. He raised his left hand. A blue barrier formed in front of him, solid and bright. The blasts hit it and ricocheted off. Lyra stared in disbelief. "You're controlling it without training." "I'm not controlling anything," Elias said. "It's just happening." The Guardian floated behind him, speaking in its calm voice. "Unit in danger. Defensive protocols activated." A pulse of blue-white energy flowed from the Guardian into Elias' back. It didn't hurt. It felt like clarity, like someone guiding his muscles and senses. Elias gripped the ground, braced himself, and then he leapt forward. The world became a blur. When he landed, the ground cracked under his boots. The nearest soldier swung a rifle at him, but Elias moved faster than he thought possible. He grabbed the weapon, twisted, and slammed the soldier down. Another soldier fired at him from behind. Elias raised his arm again, and the energy shield appeared instantly, blocking the shot. Lyra watched with awe. "He is fighting like an ancient knight," she whispered. The Guardian projected a second shield around Lyra to protect her as the battle continued. Elias moved through the soldiers like he had trained for it all his life. He wasn't superhuman, but something close to it. Every motion was guided by the Guardian's energy. One final soldier aimed a heavy cannon at Lyra. Elias saw it too late. The blast hit her barrier, cracking it. Lyra screamed. Elias reacted with pure instinct, pure emotion. No. A shockwave of blue energy burst out of him, knocking the soldier clear across the cavern. His armor shattered on impact. Silence fell. Elias froze, stunned by what he had just done. His hands glowed bright blue, trembling. Lyra stared up at him, eyes wide with fear and wonder. "Elias, you're becoming something else." He looked at his hands. "I don't want this, I just wanted to protect you." "That is why it chose you," she said softly. The Guardian drifted closer. "Threat eliminated, exit path recommended." Lyra nodded weakly. "We must leave, Mori soldiers will come, my mother's assassins will not stop." Elias lifted her gently again. This time she didn't resist. She leaned her head against his chest, breathing softly. And they walked deeper into the tunnels until they reached a hidden door, leading out onto the moon's surface. A new sky. The night sky was dark purple, filled with swirling clouds and scattered stars. The wind was cold. Far away, distant explosions marked the ongoing war. Elias set Lyra down on a rock, helping her sit. She looked at him with a strange mix of fear, gratitude, and something else, something new. "You saved me," she said quietly, "more than once." "You saved me too," he said. "That shockwave earlier, we'd be dead without it." She smiled faintly. "Perhaps we saved each other." For a moment, they sat in silence, breathing the cold air. Then Lyra spoke again, her voice soft. "My empire will hunt you now." "I figured," Elias said with a weak laugh. "They will see you as a threat, a human who can use ancient energy. They will fear you." "Should I be afraid of myself too?" he asked. She looked at him seriously. "No," she said, "you should be proud. You chose mercy over violence. That is what makes you strong. That is why the Guardian accepted you." Elias looked away, embarrassed. Lyra reached out and gently touched his hand. Her skin was warm now, glowing faintly again. "You didn't finish me when you had the chance," she said. "You didn't use me, you didn't fear me, you saved me." She looked up into his eyes. "And now I stand with you." He swallowed. "Lyra, this means war with your empire." She shook her head. "No, this means I am no longer with them." The wind blew softly around them, carrying dust across the rocks. Lyra continued. "My mother will not accept this. She will say you corrupted me, she will call you a thief, but the truth is..." She paused, searching his face. "You didn't take me, I chose you." Elias felt his heart jump. "Chosen for what?" he asked quietly. Lyra smiled, gentle, small but real. "For protection, for trust, for a path I never expected, perhaps more than that in time." He looked at her, feeling something warm and confusing rise in his chest. I won't let anyone hurt you, he said. Her eyes softened. I know, she whispered. The ending that begins something new. They watched the horizon where human ships glowed faintly like falling stars. Elias activated his emergency beacon, though he knew bringing a vortex princess with him might cause trouble. Lyra leaned against him, tired but alive. You said humans weren't my enemy, Elias said quietly. Does that still hold? Lyra rested her head on his shoulder. You are not my enemy, she said. You never were. Elias looked at the sky, then at her, then at the direction the Guardian had pointed. Whatever comes next, he said, we face it together. Lyra looked up at him with silver blue eyes that now held warmth instead of cold pride. Yes, she said. Together. The wind blew around them. The stars shimmered overhead. And far away a new future, one neither of them had expected, waited quietly for them to step into it.